Galnet News Digest, 23rd of August 3308. We read the news so you don't have to. In this week's news, are the Thargoids calling their mother? The Federation remembers those who died. Sirius will be building at least one new megaship for the Alliance, and Ramtar and Professor Palin are still paying good money for unclassified relics.
It's now 2 weeks since the Thargoids somehow managed to turn the Proteus wave that was intended to defeat them back on humanity, to power down humanity's spaceships, to disable the weapons and modules we created using Guardian technology. But there's another mystery about the events in HIP 22460. Many of those present in HIP 22460 claim to have heard a roar, far louder and more powerful than any previous Thargoid roar. The sound was described as ghastly, overwhelming, monstrous, screeching through our skulls. Some people say no recordings were made of this unearthly sound, but those people clearly haven't powered up their ship recently, because if you're patient and watch the video replay of the victory of the Thargoids, the sound plays every time. Some have suggested it may have been a roar of triumph. Others believe it may simply be the natural resonance of the second green electromagnetic pulse that came from the Thargoid device on planet 10b. Some slightly potty individuals believe that it may be a call for assistance by the Thargoids in HIP 22460, a bit like calling for help from their mother, and that we should be prepared for Mother to come calling. Azimuth Biotech is doing all it can to put some distance between its megaships and HIP 22460, with the glorious prospect preparing to depart for LHS 167, close to the permit-locked Mbuni system, and the Musashi heading to T-Tauri. The Sirius Corporation beat a hasty retreat to the Alliance system of Arimpox last week. The Federation, Empire and Alliance are refusing to talk about what happened in HIP 22460, as though there's something secret about it all. Those who claim the noise was some sort of attempt to make contact back up their claim by saying if you play the sound at 3 times normal speed, you can clearly hear the word hello. And if you play it backwards, they say, it sounds just like Stairway to Heaven.
It's now 2 weeks since the Thargoids somehow managed to turn the Proteus wave that was intended to defeat them back on humanity, to power down humanity's spaceships, to disable the weapons and modules we created using Guardian technology. Logs are still being found in the wreckage that highlight the human side of the tragedy. Today's log is a recording of a fragment of a conversation between Nia Hurst and an anonymous friend on board the Heart of Taurus, and it demonstrates that not everyone working for Salvation was comfortable about the revelations about his past.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but Halron has to know, right?
About Azimuth?
About Azimuth and these things it's accused of, like sabotaging the Alexandria.
That's never been proven.
Sure, but I heard these logs. It's mentioned the witch. And if they're right, and Salvation is...
Who's they? Have you been listening to Aegis propaganda?
I'm not saying Aegis is right, but there's just questions is all.
Just let it go, Naya. This isn't the time.
I guess. I just hope we're doing the right thing.
Shadow President Winters seems to have sought to score political points on what was intended as a day of federal unity and remembrance for federal citizens who'd lost their lives in HIP 22460. President Hudson had declared the 22nd of August as a day of remembrance for the 50,000 crew members lost aboard the Farragut battlecruisers Fortitude, Varian Scott and Bombardier. Describing the 9th of August as a dark day in federal history. He insisted that the defenceless crew of the 3 disabled battlecruisers had died with dignity and honour, and said that their memory and the memory of every citizen who died in HIP 22460 would be remembered until the twilight of the Federation. And without giving any practical details about how this might be carried out, he vowed revenge against the unrelenting hostility of the Thargoid species on behalf of everyone that died. Shadow President Winters, while supporting the commemorative event, said that it was at least partly the Federal Navy's fault that things had gone so badly. Had the President not backed Salvation so unquestioningly, she suggested, Salvation may not have been able to let off his Proteus wave bomb, which gave the Thargoids the means of slaughtering everyone in HIP 22460, and with a fair portion of the Federal Navy lost in HIP 22460, the Proteus wave a dud, and Guardian weaponry rendered useless, Winters declared the Federation a sitting duck should the Thargoids press their advantage and invade the Federation.
There will be at least one dockable megaship built by Sirius to protect the Alliance from Thargoids, and that's all because of the materials brought to the Chariot of Rhea in Listi by independent pilots. There's some concern in Alliance circles that Sirius may not have the best interests of the Alliance at heart, but 1 or 2 not terribly effective new megaships are likely to be more effective than no new megaships at all. In other news, Professor Palin has described the name Unclassified Relics as a temporary title for the newly discovered objects. He explained that a molecular realignment inside the crystals means that they're emitting Guardian and Thargoid energy signatures simultaneously. Ramtar added that this synthesis of Guardian and Thargoid technology is an exciting development full of possibilities. The 2 engineers have embarked on a joint research program that may be of vital importance. They thanked Commanders Hurix and Demlagor for delivering the first samples and stressed that they're keen to buy more of these artefacts, which can be synthesized from Guardian relics inside Thargoid structures.
And that's this week's Galnet News. Galnet News. We read the news so you don't have to.